if I haven't been felled by the Rona, maybe we'll bring it back. Hey, Drunk Sue.
Hi, baby.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I just want to let you know that you're a wussy as far as the bull riding thing.
Okay.
Because I got you beat, baby.
Okay.
You said you did 21 seconds?
I think so. I mean, it might have been longer, but I don't recall. But I mean, I was happy with my time.
Yeah, well, I did 43 seconds.
Okay. Now, to what do you attribute your success on the mechanical bull, Sue?
They turned it on.
Ha, get it?
Oh, they turned it on and she fell off. I just figured she was so...
Shit right on.
I figured that she was so... I thought maybe she was drunk and loose and limber that just...
I was riding that bull, baby. I was riding it.
Flopped her around like a rag doll.
Turned it on.
Sue, are you...
you tipsy now?
Yeah, kind of drunk right now.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little... I feel like you're a little deeper into the bottle today.
Sign.
Right.
Here's your sign.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Sue.
I just wanted to share that with you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. There's Drunk Sue, who is, she's living up to her name today. Sometimes she'll call us and she's a little bit more... she's a little bit more lucid, I guess.
More reserved.
Well, every time she called, she was a different type of Sue. She was like, I'm educated Sue today.
What happened to
I'm British
unnamed
Sue.
Becky, or what you call herself?
A.K.A. Becky.
Becky.
Yeah, what happened to
I haven't heard
her?
from her in a long time.
Hey, by the way, I saw that Howard Finkel died, too. Mere days, by the way, after Florida designated the WWE as an essential business. This is what happens when you've got a lot of money and you can bend the state government to your will. I assume that Ron DeSantis and Vince McMahon are probably bosom buddies. And so they got the WWE to be considered an essential service. But they started,
They still had to let a ton of people go.
Let a ton of people go because the XFL already went bankrupt. They just launched the XFL again. That was Vince McMahon's baby. Mm-hmm. He was sinking a bunch of money into that, trying to get that going. That just filed for bankruptcy. Howard Finkel died, who I read was the very first employee of the WWE. He was their legendary ring announcer. He was 69 years old. Nice. They did not say why he died, but boy, he rocked a dark brown dyed beard for a long time. I mean, I'm assuming that's dyed. If that's still his natural color, boy, he's amazingly fortunate. But Howard Finkel died. The Fink, as they called him, his career began when the company was still called the WWF. And I imagine someone said, hey, we've got too many W's. I don't know what that stood for.
But if they would have kept it...
Wrestling Foundation?
Hey, you might be right. Federation. Worldwide Wrestling Federation, maybe.
Because then it was the...
World Wrestling Federation. Then they lost the lawsuit.
If they would have kept the other W, they could have kept the name intact.
They could have been the WWF.
Yeah.
Oh. He started in 1975. He was their longest tenured employee. And he was inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2009.
Well, that is a bum.
I guess so. So, people who are way into professional wrestling, they're wearing their Hulkamaniac headband at half-staff today.
Oh.
He started as the ring announcer at Madison Square Garden in the mid-'70s. Wow. His signature call, the new world champion. I guess this guy was a big deal. All the wrestling fans were hitting me up this morning. Howard Finkel died. And I'm like, okay. Was that your jeweler? But he was...
Finkel and Einhorn. Einhorn and Finkel. Finkel, Einhorn, Finkel.
Yeah.
Ray Finkel.
Howard Finkel is this guy.
I know, but...
Not to be confused with Ray Finkel. Mm-hmm. He should get his own...
Laces out.
Accolades. Just like Machine Gun Kelly. Laces out. So, yeah. But they fired a bunch of people over at WWE. They got rid of Kurt Angle. another Hall of Famer. So first they were deemed essential business, and then Vince McMahon was like, cool, now I'm going to let a bunch of people go. So they got rid of Kurt Angle, Drake Maverick,
Never heard of them.
Zack Ryder,
Nope.
Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson. Mind you, these aren't these guys' real names. Carl Anderson's real name is Chad Allegra. Ironically, not allergic to anything. Luke Gallows, Heath Slater, No Way Jose. Why did they have to let that guy go? His name's No Way Jose.
That's what he said to them too. When they're like, "We're letting you go." He's like, "No way, Jose."
Yeah.
No, he just said, my name.
Me.
Mike and Maria Kanellis, Primo, Epico, Leo Rush. So a bunch of people had to let some people. I arguably Kurt Angle is the most notable of that. Yeah. So they let a bunch of people go because I don't know.
Well, they're not generating ticket sales right now, so they're probably hurting pretty bad.
Yeah. Yep.
I know they still had WrestleMania, and they just had them do like matches in empty, arena, or I guess just I don't even know where they did them, but they still had it. Some people watched it.
When they asked,
enjoyed it.
I remember having Kurt Angle on my show one time, many, many years ago, because he's from Pittsburgh, and he went to Clarion University, and he would have been in his early 30s, I guess. And this is just one of these guys, man. Some of these guys, they're all big guys, right? WWE guys. They're all big guys. But some of them, they look painfully big. Like their skin is tight.
Yeah.
And their hands are like sausages. And that was Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, because he was actually an Olympic-level wrestler, too.
Yes, that's right. He was like a legit guy who came into the...
He had muscles on muscles, and then he also had a lot of wear and tear on his body, so he looked just really intimidating. He's not he wasn't like a pretty boy. He was grizzled looking, even without like any facial hair or anything like that. He had like
that Tito Ortiz look,
yes,
where he looked like he was going to explode. Yeah,
he looks like a pimple about to pop.
He always looked angry and stressed and over tanned
and no neck.
No neck.
How many veins?
Multiple.
Lots of veins.
At least 3.
Yeah.
Yes, but all of them coming out of his like eyebrow.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy. I mean, his veins had veins. So
he's so vain.
If you are into vascularity, which is a sure sign of masculinity, boy, Kurt Angle was the guy. Now, what I'd like to know is, when you get rid of that many people, like, what's your plan after that? Do you slide into a full-on Mickey Rourke type situation in The Wrestler? Or, like, what do you do?
What do those wrestlers do?
Yeah, if you get fired from the WWE and you're a wrestler...
Go to AEW, I guess?
But you ain't going to make any money.
No, I think
everybody's in the same boat.
They're collecting unemployment, probably.
Backyard wrestling.
Yeah. What did you used to do? I was a WWE wrestler.
Only perform for Amish people. They're still gathering.
There you go.
Go tour the Amish communities across the country and be a wrestler.
I was known as No Way Jose, and now I'm trying to get unemployment. After they said the WWE was an essential business. I'm curious why that's how that played out.
So that he could fire people and still make money. If he's not having to pay people, but he's still an essential business and can still generate revenue, might as well get rid of people.
But how is he? I guess, but I mean,
merch, online stuff. I don't know.
But you could do that with those people.
But if he doesn't have to pay them, then it's all profit.
Yeah.
I think initially there was a review that was done, and they were not initially deemed an essential business. With some conversation with the governor's office regarding the governor's order, they were deemed an essential business. And so therefore they were allowed to remain open.
That's one of the Orange County mayor, that's Jerry Demings, and they were like, why are they still doing shows in Orlando? They were doing live TV shows, WWE. It was just the two guys, no crowd. There's a guy trying to dance around the fact that Vince McMahon very clearly called the governor and said, hey, man, do me a solid. Like, after conversations with the governor. So, yeah. Hey, Ryan. Is Ryan going to call me every day
was like,
now?
is it the same Ryan?
Man, this Ryan again. God damn it.
Does he call himself Republican Ryan now, or you just put it up there? He does?
That's what he calls himself.
Yeah.
He hung up. The wrestling talk got him in a froth.
It should be right up his alley. Mm-hmm. In a froth. Got him all frothy.
I shared those videos of the Indian guys getting spanked as they're leaving the church, and this guy replies like, "Makes me embarrassed that an American finds this lack of religious rights funny. It's because it's funny watching them get spanked. It has nothing to do with
What's
the
got to do with religion?
rights.
Oh, because they're coming out of the church?
Out of the church.
Yeah.
But it's not... They still have the right to practice their religion, just not in that space.
There's consequences.
Yes.
What do you want? Again, what happened to love your neighbor as yourself?
But then he's also got...
It ain't all about you, Jagoff.
He's got a avatar that says, "A nice cup of toughen the F up."
Oh,
And
people don't get him.
Yeah, so I just keep sending him that.
Yeah.
I just keep screenshotting it and sending it back to him.
Well, Bill, he's not politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
I got an email from Mike. He goes, "Hey, Alan, thanks for making me care about the Twitter account of a band who wrote one of the lamest songs I've ever heard over and over and over again. You dick." Because that trap situation. We thought the trap thing was over. We
Still
a couple of
going?
weeks ago, we were talking about how the frontman for Trapped, of all things, was... I guess he's a full-on MAGA guy, and so the Twitter account, he was just screaming at people who were... This was earlier in this whole coronavirus timeline. We were doing the live shows from Squifle Tower. When this thing broke, he's still going at it. He's in beef now with Ice-T. You don't want to be in a beef with Ice-T.
Lemonade.
Nobody wants to beef with Ice-T.
No.
He has a hot wife.
Who wants beef with Ice-T, though?
He's literally written a song called "Talk Shrimp, Get Shot." I don't think that I would want to mess with that guy.
I feel like beef is too heavy for Ice-T. You pair Ice-T with like a salad or...
Why are people paying attention to this guy?
I pair
ignore
Ice-T
him
with
and go
cocoa.
away.
Ooh. Hot cocoa?
Well, apparently this guy has not found his people.
But he's gaining followers from this.
But not the kind that you
people
would
like a trash fire.
Yeah, right. But all the other like bands in their genre want nothing to do with the guy. And of course, you can play these things out as laughably predictable. Mm-hmm. You know, when everybody goes back at the guy, then he claims he's being bullied.
Right.
Whatever, right? It's you talk all the shrimp and then, oh, you're being bullied. Whatever. But yeah, so he's going back and forth with a bunch of people, and then he somehow, Ice-T got into it because he was saying that Trapped had more stream followers than Body Count, which is Ice-T's metal band. And so then Ice-T gets in the mix. It's like, I thought the trap thing was done.
No.
Ice-T tweeted, "Dude, keep talking. We'll bump into each other one day." Man, he's not screwing around. So then these, these kinds of guys who just scream all kinds of stuff into the void, and then
the
somebody
Twitter
reacts
tech
to him, they
guys,
go, "Oh, okay, so you're gonna,
Violence is the answer. That's what you're making it.
Right.
Thought you were a liberal. Thought you didn't believe in. I'm a liberal. I'm not a pacifist, bitch. You
It's
can
like
get these hands.
Get these hands." So the Trapped frontman is still going at people. Thought maybe that he would be, I don't know.
No, he's as outspoken as his fearless leader.
But what a weird pivot. And maybe it wasn't. Maybe the guy was always kind of that way.
They didn't give a crap about his Twitter account because they all fled. Someone who was probably running it for a while, and then once this whole coronavirus thing came out, they're like, "Go ahead, you run it. You keep it maintained."
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know, but I certainly thought that it was going to be gone before now.
Yeah, but that's what this guy kind of does is he'll keep going until he can keep getting attention, and then people will talk about it. And
right.
It's what they don't care what kind of attention it is, as long as it's attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I feel like if you want attention to translate into something, you can't just monetize the attention. If he's in a band, you'd want people to be listening to your band. I mean, I understand trying to get attention, but then you want that to become something else. People just go, "That guy's a dick."
Yeah, but if he doesn't have anything else to do,
make some music,
he's just living off his headstrong royalties.
Make some music. NFL has just announced, too, that Von Miller has COVID-19. Much bigger star in the NFL than the Rams guy.
Oh, yeah.
Von Miller of the Denver Broncos. His agent confirmed that he has COVID-19. Crazy times for the NFL.
Crazy time for not just the NFL, Alan. Everyone. It's crazy
Really?
time for everyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
but sports fans are getting it the worst, Bill.
They're struggling.
Duh.
Yeah. No doy they are.
Hey, calm down.
Sports.
Alan Vince McMahon had a guaranteed contract where he had to put on live entertainment. With everything shut down, he couldn't do that unless he was labeled an essential business. So, yeah, but television contracts? I mean, I don't know.
I don't mind them being an essential business. I don't. If they can operate in a way that's safe.
Alan, I was working for a major airline in Philadelphia, and Andre the Giant's body was being transported. And one of the lunatics I work with jumped on his casket and yelled, "I'm the last guy to pin Andre the Giant." That sounds like a made-up story, but I like the visual of it. There was a documentary.
Big ass casket too.
Right.
A documentary
His casket
on
was the
him.
plane.
Yeah, about how much he would drink as part of this. Do you ever see that?
Yeah.
He would drink like 2 cases of wine on
A day?
on a 3-hour plane ride.
He was gigantic.
He was
Well,
massive.
yeah, I know that, but still.
He was a giant, but a gentle giant.
3 cases of wine.
That's what they said.
Case of wine has how many bottles in it?
like 6,
There's
right?
simply no way to know. The point is,
I was gonna say it's not 24. I thought it was 9, but
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
He would drink. I think it was 3 cases of beer and like 8 bottles of wine or something like that. But like he would drink
God.
like, because if you see him in the pictures, he's holding a can of beer and it looks like one of those
The
little
mini
tiny
cans,
mini
yeah.
cans. Yeah.
this is back when the WWF, Mike Graham and Dusty Rhodes told a story about how they watched him drink 156 beers in one sitting. 14.6 gallons, which is about 55 times more liquid than the average human stomach can hold.
How many times did he pee? That's what we need to
Not
know.
once.
Once, but it took 45 minutes.
It threw out the weight of the plane,
Yeah.
actually.
to go pee.
They actually burned it as fuel.
He was on Letterman and said that when he quit drinking to get to a trim 475 pounds, he would still drink 3 to 5 bottles of wine with dinner. That's when he quit drinking. Mm-hmm. He pared it down to 3
That's quitting
to
drinking.
5. Yeah. He once rang up a $40,000 bar tab while he was filming The Princess Bride.
At my best, most alcoholic, I could probably get through 2.5 bottles of wine.
Carrie
Yeah, but you're
Elwes.
also not 7 foot, 500
if I
pounds.
really tried. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like years and years of actually trying and blacking out. I got up to about 3.
Yeah.
This guy. That's what he's sober.
Carrie Elwes, who was the main guy in Princess Bride. Who was he in that? Rupert or
Wesley.
Wesley? She was Buttercup. Is that who Robin Wright was?
Princess Buttercup.
There you go. Wesley.
Marriage.
Marriage. Carrie Elwes said years ago that when they were filming the movie, he would watch Andre the Giant. He said he racked up a $40,000 bar tab. You wouldn't think that Andre the Giant had that kind of money. But he said that
He had
his...
a ton of money.
Really? Being a
was a-
professional wrestler in the 80s? Like, that was before
guy
those
was like
guys
a-
were making... like, Hulk was making money.
I mean,
but
he
was well known.
he was well known, and I think through merchandise and stuff like that, maybe $40,000 is a big chunk of change for him. But I think he was doing pretty okay.
That his to-go order was something called an American, which is 40 ounces of various liquors poured into a pitcher. Carrie Elwes said, "I've never tasted airplane fuel, but I imagine it's very close to what that must have tasted like." He once drank a plane's entire stock of vodka by himself while on a trip to Japan.
It's a long trip, though.
He drank 40 vodka tonics
40.
while he was at the bar of the Marriott Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri.
Legend.
That's a guy where, like, as a bartender, you're probably looking at him, you're like, I know he's a big dude, but he's had 28 drinks. Like,
Yeah.
Do I
what
cut him off?
You know what I
And
mean?
you don't want to cut him off.
You're not
You're
gonna
like, sorry, sir. What?
But if you if something happens, like 39th drink hits him wrong, nobody's picking that guy up.
Yeah.
Like he passes out, you're
He's there. He's just there.
Then you got to be the person responsible for,
Well, he doesn't
knocking
fit
out
in
Andre the
cars, so it's
Giant.
not like he's gonna drive anywhere.
He doesn't fit in cars?
Bobby Heenan, you might remember that name, the classic wrestling days. He was telling that they were at the hotel in Kansas City, and the bartender said, "Is Andre here with you?" And he said, "No." And the bartender said, "Oh, thank God. Last time he was here, I gave him last call, and he didn't want to leave. I told him I could only stay as long as he was drinking, so he ordered 40 vodka tonics and drank them until 4 in the morning."
Good God.
wow.
Living your best life.
Actually sounds kind of sad. He just had nowhere to go.
Well, because he wasn't
even that he had
married. He
nowhere
wasn't,
to
you know, I
go,
mean,
but-
yeah.
Imagine the woman that got slayed by him.
There's no way.
No.
I'm sure he didn't die a virgin. Somebody had to do it.
How?
Someone had to.
He died young.
They take one for the team.
He was 46.
Looks like that.
He's
paper towel
been
roll.
dead almost 20 years. Longer than that? 39? 30?
It's been a while,
Almost 30
yeah.
years. Yeah.
Someone was like, I'm gonna do it. I want to have a little giant.
It's like climbing Mount Everest.
Oh my gosh, imagine having his
A
baby.
little giant.
Oh my God.
Like someone's pregnant with Andre the Giant's child. Like the kid would pop out the same size as you.
I guess he was in the Guinness Book as being the highest paid wrestler at the time in history. He earned $400,000 in the early 70s, which is a lot of money for something like that.
So if he's doing that all through the 70s, and then he's getting paid pretty well for that movie, and he had some money.
There you go. I don't see anything about a woman.
But also,
Maybe he was
a
gay.
$40,000 bar tab in the 80s when things were a lot cheaper. So imagine how much he had to spend.
Yeah, but people do that. I mean, you'll see receipts online from Vegas and stuff where people will come in and drop like $300,000 on 2 bottles of champagne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not impossible to do.
He was French. He died in his sleep in a Paris hotel room. Congestive heart failure. No shock. Anyway, love Andre the Giant. Now, he was not the star of My Giant, of course. That was
George Mearson.
George Mearson. That's right.
And Billy Crystal.
I was going to say Billy Crystal.
So Billy Crystal really had an affinity for working with giants. You know?
It's his thing.
Josh Gad. Anyway,
Humpadink.
I've got a break.
It's a good movie.
You want to get the last word in, send me a text 35192.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our